Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Discovery Scouts and Pirates of the Caribbean film series. Simon Perryman here, as known as Captain Simon Perryman. Today is Monday, August 30th, 2021 today. Tomorrow is going to be the end of the summer today, at about 123 days. So, 23 days. So tomorrow should be for the confirmation. So all things we're concerned about 2 to 10 a.m. a day to about the midnight in the morning to 10. All this and about for the 8 hours, the minimum weights. And we're gonna still have it about fix the problems at about 5 hours ago. We just still needs to go fix everything problem. That was from the past Friday ago. That was about past Friday 27. So and should have been delayed today. So the hunter called a while and comes out for tomorrow. All things that we can concerned about the remorse are about the white-tailed deers, mule deers, bighorn sheeps, coyotes should be return of the animals here from Layton Lakes and Silver Peaks, and we have the Mexican bobcats here as the directory of Eurasian lynx, brown bears, and red tiger, gray wolves, the grizzly bears, the Yukon Valley, and Sika deers, and Tiarawa, Quadricolina, Iberian wolf, and Quadricolinus, and Puma, and Parfenanos. So we do have Rio Grande turkey, as known as about the Mexican turkeys, and which is about we gotta have to read instead of those about turkeys together about Marius and Rio Grande. They have this still from the multiple trophies in there about the multiplayers, single players, and which just gonna seem to just going on there about antelope jackrabbit squads of fights, coyotes and bobcats is just fighting about for them the male fights of the trophies. It's all I have a concern about ringneck pheasant, color peccaries, as known as a lesson then about the feral pigs and wild boars and warthogs. And so I do have about it's all I have concerns about this about Mexican bobcats, antelope jackrabbits, Rio Grande turkeys, ringneck pheasants, the antelope jackrabbits, and we're still having to bring in animals here and Rancho del Rio and Sonoran Desert in Mexico. And sometimes the mule deers have silver peaks and parfenados, white-tailed deers of Layton Lakes, and coyotes and bighorn sheeps. I have some news that would be the concerns about all I have to do, which gonna check on and make some the rumor there about a lot of bucks that they have 1 trivia, 2 minors, and 3 variations, which is instead about the 10 fables, which is the giant ones about the great ones. We just do it about the level through 4, about easy 4 through 9 legendaries. About all these we can concern about 4 easies, 5 mediums, 6 hards, 7 very hards, 8 mythicals, and 9 legendaries. So which is about the bigger ones, about the Texas and New Mexicos, and sometimes the Colorados and Oregon, Washington State, British Columbia. So sometimes the whitetails are pretty good at it, which is about to be friendly, which is about very likely to be friends, that are about the socialized shades to be concerned about shy, calm, dog sales, and sometimes alarm. Sometimes the whitetails always alarms with the roe deers. It is going to be the process about the story mission showing. So we still not need to decide missions and arrange a dollar wheel. It's one of the biggest is there's about the consoles coming console be Patience part 2. So So we just remember about always have a concern about from that was from all this concern about almost last 2 weeks ago. So yes, so that was about last 3 weeks ago. We're just having a week concern about scarecrows, the lone gamers, Zaggy DK, and Zaggy DKs and Whiskies, Jacky Beers, and Spencer Worlds, Lady Legend Exos, Flinters, Ramen Tubes, and which is we got to discovering to the whole world, the whole expanse of worlds didn't want to get delayed anymore. So that one should be tomorrow about 10 a.m. That should be costing about free for the purchase at about $7.99, and which is just almost at $8, which is about without the tax. All these wicked concerned about this. So, which is about the coyotes, about the last of it that we used, and mule deer should be the third ones, white-tailed deers as the second one for the reserves, bighorn sheeps too. The second one should be the coyotes, and the one to the third about from the mule deer to the park fernandos, Silver Ridge Peaks, and here and Rancho del Rio. So So I've been basically just traveled back from the Yukon Valley from the seeing a lot of animals in there that gets eliminated for the caribous, moose, plains bisons, grizzly bears, gray wolves, red foxes, and harlequin ducks. And there seems to be okay with that about the remorse to go about during the beginning of the new game. That's all I have that you guys want. And sometimes I just came back from Arroyo National Park hunting reserves, and we're just gonna do that about the ferret goats, camos, ferret pigs, ferret. We're gonna do that about. We just came from side missions to the storylines of the camos, ferret goats, ferret pigs, fallow deers, European rabbits, red deers, sika deers, and turkeys. It's really decided about in New Zealand. With it looks like about the big islands. So I have a such the idea of about the storylines is when I concerned about the fallow deer and the New Zealands, where they came from the Europe for the second ones. The red deer should be once of it to go. When I concerned about look at the distraction about the plane's crash, about during the story missions about from Huge Felden, Quadricolinas, Park Fernandos, and the Tierra Roa, just about just the fourth ones. So I've been definitely to see this one about Merriam turkeys and Silver Peaks and Tierra Roa in New Zealand. So I get to the vans that are all these we can concern about camos at class 3s. It's pretty hard to take a shot at for about the gold one should be the 3 very easies, 4 easies, and the 5 mediums called diamonds. It looks like the same thing about the ferret goes in there about 3 very easies to 5 mediums, and then sometimes they're okay with that about ferret goes looks like the medium without small. I know some cases about. So I've been noticing this before. A lot of people during the campsites that are the medieval war. It's as far as I am concerned about the Dark Ages or the medieval wars, Stone Castle Valley. So if you still have to see that, I've seen that about the Sika deers, about bucks and doe, the bucks and does. The red deer are called the does and stags. Farragos that have rams and ewes, and I know sometimes they have the turkeys sometimes. feral pigs, especially, yes. So I know it's okay about the fallow deer. So Uhuri, um, there's just gonna be four. There's gonna be four regions. There's still gonna be okay with that. So I know sometimes that the basically Sika deers is just being wanted to be likely friends of the fallow deers, and sometimes all these togethers. As far as I'm concerned about the fallow bucks, including those stags. So one of such things, when I get to the new map today until next year of December 2021, I think it exactly is supposed. I think it exactly what it was supposed to be. So we're gonna check into about the clues about November 30th, and it's also to have for the animal clues about this one's about new map today, or so I basically still have it about Australian hunting reserves. If it still has about the fallow deers, Rusa deers, sandbar deers, fallow deers, if it stills, red fox, um, if it guys, if it they have it the dingoes, so don't worry about it. So we're just gonna do the fine today. So I have to still have an Australian wolf on it if it's a carnivores, and to still have it to get to the carnivore packs, in which is instead about would be friends, and they're just still for the red deers have the fifth one on the Australian hunting reserves. Different species is called the water buffaloes, gars, sandbar deers, rusa deers, sika deers, fallow deers. If they don't have it at the white-tailed deer, that's fine. So we can put it back in there for North America for now. I know some of those are cases also when I'm concerned about camos, feral hogs, even though for feral goats. I know sometimes they have the European mouflons and bizarre ibex and alpine ibex, which is sometimes they do have about the gray foxes. If it do have Australian ducks, goose, so particularly the goose, so particularly for ringneck pheasant stills. So everyone wanted to take a look at is about the new clues today about to choose one for the D's about until about 2 more months. So maybe about 3 months ago. So before, but after the Thanksgiving about November during the holidays. So I have this spectacular alters when I'm concerned about new animal species about the new map for the teaser trailers, and sometimes it gets delayed anytime, or sometimes in January or February. I think this still is February. It's all okay with that. It's make it the visuals. I just need to remember that it is sometimes to have about the every one of the time from the new reserves, just a one clue for the time. Um, and they will tell you all this we can concern about the African savanna plains. So, what kind of different animals do they take? So we take about hunting reserves on savanna plains, and one besides the Kenyan, Zabari, and Uganda. And the wishes is instead about the Serengetis. So I'll have to say we choose one of the African animals here on the reserves. So I choose one of those about stills, the lions, the new animal eunuch, the leopard, and greater kudos, sable, giant eland, spotted hyenas, stills, striped jackals, warhogs, scrub hares, a new eunuch here, Egyptian goose, stills, blue wildebeest, Gensbox, Cape buffalo, as in the new ones, the rhinos, elephants, and so even though basically they do have Barbary sheeps on it, if don't have it, and so maybe not worried about it. So if it still has about the European mouflons on it in Africa that could be visited, sometimes it's there with the cave with that. So they still came from Central Europe and Quadricolinas and Hirschfeldens. So you know what to do. So a lot of people can't even imagine having the images with that. All these weekend are concerned about Australian hunting reserves or African hunting reserves, known as about Savannah Plains, and even the still directory of the hunting reserves about in the national park of the Vahanga Savannas. Still to the great ideal, all these we can concern about story missions is only. Even without side missions, all these we're going to concern about the ward and conservation on the Sonoran Desert, the Mexican conservation and the wildlife. So, if you guys have any questions about Australian hunting reserves or African hunting reserves of the Savannah Plains, and sometimes you gotta make it official. So you gotta make it about one clue for the time about 3 months ago, and that's called question mark. Alright guys, thank you so much for coming in, guys. So Rancho Del comes out tomorrow. Xbox One console Patience Part 2. Don't forget to hit the button, subscribe to our contests, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Scooter, Vine Cameras, Kaka Story, Kaka Talk, Tom Lots Hangouts. Subscribe on the stream. Subscribe on the 100 streamers a day. Flinters, Ramen Tubes, DD33s, and Lady Legend XOs, Jackson Beard, Scarecrows, The Lone Gamers, and the Spencer Worlds, and the Howdy Hearters, Sanka, and Maggie, and Megals. And this is called the Hunter Call for the Wild. That's called the Hunter Officials for now. To make sure to follow on the Hunter Officials for now. So make sure don't forget about me. Don't forget to the comes out tomorrow without delay. Yep. And that should be no delay tomorrow today. Thank you so much for the comment, guys, for be patient of the community updates from part 1 or 2 without part 3. Feel free to watch, guys. Don't forget, keep it rich, mateys. See you tomorrow.